Hi, I'm Barb Exter. I am on the board of directors of Firm Foundation Recovery. I also do a lot of volunteer work at The Journey. I won't say my age, I'm old. Um, I currently am employed as a compliance officer for Creative Financial Group. I do, again, a lot of volunteer work for Journey, including working in the auditorium, doing food distribution, what they call Code Red. I do some admin work and, all kinds of stuff that keep me really, really busy. I was born and raised in Delaware, in Wilmington. I was born in Wilmington. I had a relatively normal childhood. I have an older brother and an older sister. We had a very loving family. I have absolutely wonderful, fond memories of growing up and, all kinds of videos that, we put onto a DVD that I watch every so often to bring back those memories. But growing up, I had a relatively normal childhood. We went to Episcopal church, went to Sunday school every week. I remember we went to Grace Episcopal Church up in Wilmington. We would go as every Sunday, and then in Grace Episcopal Church, when you had the adult service, after all the hymns and prayers were over, they took the children out, and we all kind of followed like a little Pied Piper over to the Sunday school. And I did that until I was, I'm going to say, 13 years old. Went to Sunday school. I went to confirmation classes. I got confirmed. And slowly, I guess, I can't put my finger on it, but at some point our family kind of drifted away from church and just went back to going Easter and Christmas. And so between the age of, let's say, 17 and the age of 57, I only went to church for holidays. So fast forward to, I want to say around 2014, 2015, my husband's brother, my brother-in-law, had gotten involved in a church. He lives down in Millsboro in Sussex County. And he'd gotten involved with a church called the Lewis Church of Christ, or the Crossing, I think it's called. And he called one day and said he was going to get baptized. So we were invited to go to his baptism. So we drove down to the church, and it was a really cool church. They had like modern Christian or contemporary Christian music. A very dynamic pastor by the name of Adam, who brought the message to life and the scripture to life. And then he got baptized, and we all celebrated, and we went out to lunch. And then when we got home, I said to my husband, I was like, that was really cool. I wish there was a church like that near us, because I think I would go. And he said, well, how about that Journey place? It's right down the street. It used to be a sporting goods store. I pass it all the time. It says Real Church. You should try it if that's what you want. So I went one day, and I kind of fell in love with it. And I didn't go really consistently, but I would try and go, at least once every other week, or, tried to get there once a week. And just started really listening and paying attention, and it seemed like every message said something to me. It's like everything had some kind of a, I don't want to say a meaning, but it resonated somehow, either in my past or my present, or what I was thinking, was my future. Well, at that time, my husband was struggling with drug addiction, and so he went to a rehab out in York, Pennsylvania. So when he was struggling, I started going more. I started, because I didn't know what else to do. I'd say, obviously, anything that I'm doing is not working. The only thing that I can do is try and put my faith in God and pray and hope that that something changes. During the January 9th gathering, Pastor Marcus always asked us to close our eyes and pray. Then he asked us to raise our hand if we were ready to put our faith in Jesus. Just then, a calm, serene feeling came over me, and I was overcome with peace. I realized that I have little or no control over my life or the lives of family, friends, or acquaintances. Tears filled my eyes, and I raised my hand. That was just one moment. But surrendering and having faith are not actions that happen just once. I have to remind myself constantly throughout the day and night that I have relinquished my control and handed it over to Him. So November 16th of 2016, we got baptized together, both of us. And he was still struggling with his addiction. It was right after that in December that he went back to rehab. And got out in late January of 2017. And started serving, and I had started serving in the church. He started serving some, and then he relapsed again, and finally succumbed to the addiction in March 30th of 2017. At that point, I kind of ran on autopilot for a little while. I was still going to church. I was, just serving a little bit. But I literally spent about a year hiding, drinking too much, eating too much, not going places where I should go, barely getting to church, barely functioning at work. And after about a year of that, I remember, doing my prayers one night. I always sit on the floor in my living room to do my prayers, one night, and finally just throwing up my arms and saying, I can't do this anymore. I can't carry this anymore. I'm turning it all over you. Even though I'd already put my faith in Him, I wasn't trusting Him, with my life. So, I finally just said, I'm done. I can't do this on my own. It's in your hands now. And I immediately felt better and started getting my life back together, hooked up with a health coach, quit drinking, went on a super diet, lost a whole bunch of weight, started serving a whole bunch more, and I started getting involved with the recovery community by going to the Strength and Recovery meeting at Journey, because it was a meeting. I had known some of the people in the meeting that ran the meeting before that, but they invited me to come because that meeting was for family members and people who were struggling with any kind of an addiction. I think, even though it wasn't something that I had planned on, my purpose is going to be, and probably will always be, is to try and find other recovering addicts that I can help, or to help those family members of addicts that don't understand, don't know what to do, don't have any resources. Tons of resources for addicts. You can go to rehab, you can go to detox, you can go away, you can go to 12-step meetings. But the family members, I feel that they suffer the most, especially those that have lost somebody to an overdose, because they have the same feelings that I have. What could I have done differently? What should I have done if I had only taken away all their money, if I'd only taken away the car keys, if I'd only, put them in another rehab? And you've got all those what ifs, and you can't keep dwelling on the what ifs. You have to go to it's in God's control. So I finally came to a realization that God took him away from me so that I could recover myself and expand my faith and get stronger in my faith, and to get involved with others to try and help others and other family members that are dealing with the same thing that I dealt with.